If anyone had told Amara that her beauty would one day become her punishment, she would have laughed. She had everything a young woman could dream of: men chasing after her, friends admiring her, parents praising her. But life has its way of humbling even the proud, and when her turn came, it arrived without warning. Amara was her parents' only child, their treasure and their pride. Her father, Mr. Dubé, was a thin man with tired eyes who worked as a village carpenter. Every evening, he returned home with sawdust in his hair and sweat darkening his shirt. Her mother, Mama Dubé, sold vegetables in the local market. Together they struggled to send their daughter to the university. They sold the small plot of land behind their house, borrowed from neighbors, and endured insults from those who mocked their sacrifice. But they believed one thing: Amara would change their story. When the admission letter came, joy filled their home. Amara had been accepted to study mass communication. The whole compound celebrated as Mama Dubé danced barefoot on the dusty road, shouting, "My daughter will be a big woman. She'll speak on radio." Amara promised to make them proud. University life, however, had its own temptations. Amara's beauty stood out wherever she went. Her skin glowed like polished bronze, her smile could calm storms, and her figure made heads turn. In lectures, men whispered her name; in the cafeteria, eyes followed her every move. By her second year, she decided she was too sophisticated to stay in the hostel. One of her admirers rented her an apartment off campus, another bought her a new phone. Soon, Amara began living like a small queen. When her mother called and asked, "Amara, are you studying well?" she would answer, "Yes, Mama, I'm fine," while painting her nails and scrolling through messages from men offering her money and gifts. Then she met Chief Namdi. Chief was a wealthy businessman, big in size, loud in laughter, and simple in manner. His English was broken, his wrapper always neatly tied, and his belly shone like it was polished with palm oil. He wasn't the kind of man Amara wanted to be seen with, but he had what she loved most: money. Her friends laughed at her. "Amara, this man looks like your uncle," they teased. She only smiled and said, "I'm just eating his money. I can never marry that one." Chief adored her. To him, she was the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. He bought her everything she asked for: gold earrings, new phones, wigs, shoes, and even a small car. Amara enjoyed her new life and forgot her promises to her parents. Then came the day that changed everything. Amara woke up one morning feeling weak and dizzy. The scent of her perfume made her nauseous. She thought it was malaria, but when the sickness lingered, she bought a pregnancy test. Sitting on the bathroom floor, she waited. When 2 red lines appeared, her hands trembled. "No, this can't be happening," she whispered. That evening, Chief called. "My baby, you sound tired. You sure say you dey okay?" he asked gently. "I'm pregnant," she whispered. There was silence, then a loud, joyful shout. "Pregnant? God don't answer my prayer. You go born for me." Amara was stunned. She expected anger, maybe fear, but Chief was overjoyed. To her, it was a mistake; to him, it was a blessing. When her parents heard the news, their world collapsed. Mama Dubé cried for days. "After all our suffering, this is how you repay us." Her father's voice shook. "Who is the man?" "Chief Namdi," she murmured. Her father's face fell. "That old man." Chief came to their home days later, carrying drinks, yams, and palm wine. He knelt before them and said softly, "I truly love your daughter. Please, let me marry her properly." They had no choice. Their daughter was already pregnant. After Amara gave birth to a baby girl, Ada, Chief built her a small house and moved her in. Everyone said she was lucky, a young woman with a rich husband who adored her. But Amara didn't see it that way. To her, Chief was a burden she never wanted. From the outside, her life looked perfect. Chief provided everything: a fine house, a car, a house help, and enough money to fill her wardrobe with lace and wigs. People in the neighborhood called her Madam Fine Woman. But inside, she felt trapped. Chief's laughter embarrassed her, his simple dressing annoyed her, and even the smell of palm oil reminded her of everything she wanted to escape. Chief loved her deeply. Even when she rolled her eyes or ignored his greetings, he only smiled and said, "My wife, one day you go understand how much I love you." But Amara never understood. She wanted the life she left behind, the parties, the attention, the admiration. Only her daughter, Ada, brought her a little joy. Still, it wasn't enough. One night, as Chief snored softly beside her, Amara lay awake staring at the ceiling. She remembered her old life, the cars, the compliments, the laughter, and felt suffocated. She began to avoid her husband, stopped cooking for him, and stopped answering when he spoke kindly. Chief noticed the change. One evening he asked quietly, "Amara, you know they're happy with me again." "You did nothing wrong," she said coldly. "I'm just tired of this kind of life." Chief's eyes filled with pain. "I give you everything I fit. You be my blessing." She looked away. "Then maybe your blessing is tired." That night, he cried quietly while she scrolled through her phone, chatting with her friends. Months passed. Ada grew into a bright, playful child who loved her father dearly. Chief carried her to school every morning and bought her ice cream on weekends. Amara, meanwhile, grew colder. She started sneaking out, dressing up like a single woman again. One afternoon, while Ada played outside, Amara packed her clothes into 2 boxes. She left a short note on the bed that said, "Chief, I can't do this anymore. Please take care of Kemi." Then she walked out and never looked back. When Chief returned and read the note, tears rolled down his cheeks. "Ada," he whispered when she asked about her mother, "she traveled, my daughter." At first, Amara felt free. She rented a small apartment in the city using money she had saved from the gifts Chief once gave her. She bought new clothes, attended parties, and laughed loudly again. Her friends welcomed her like a queen returning home. But as the months passed, the glow faded. The money ran out. The men who once admired her disappeared. Rent was due, bills piled up, and her friends stopped answering her calls. One by one, she sold her belongings, her bags, her jewelry, even her television. At night, she lay awake, thinking about Chief's laughter, his gentle eyes, and Ada's sweet voice. Tears filled her eyes as she whispered, "I was foolish. I threw away the only people who truly loved me." One morning, she gathered her courage and returned to Chief's compound. Her dress was faded, her slippers worn, her hair unkempt. She stood at the gate trembling. From inside, she heard laughter, a woman's, a child's, and then Chief's deep voice. Her heart froze. When the gate opened, she saw him. Chief stood tall, his face calm and peaceful. Beside him was a slender woman holding Ada. The child's face lit up. "Mama," she shouted and ran into Amara's arms. Amara fell to her knees, hugging her daughter tightly, sobbing. "I'm so sorry, my baby." Chief's eyes softened, but his voice was steady. "Amara, I begged you to stay. You left me when I needed you most. I've forgiven you, but I can't take you back." She looked up, desperate. "Please, Chief. I've changed. I'll love you right this time." Chief turned away. "I have a wife now. She stood by me when everyone mocked me. She helped me rebuild." He asked his wife to bring Amara some food and a little money. "She's still Ada's mother," he said quietly. Amara took the envelope with shaking hands, her eyes following her daughter as she ran back into the compound. When the gate closed, she whispered through tears, "I lost everything because of pride." That night, she slept in a small lodge near the park. For the first time in years, she prayed sincerely. God, thank you for opening my eyes before it's too late. Please, give me strength to start again. Outside her window, the stars glimmered faintly, a reminder that no matter how far one falls, there is always a chance to rise again.